Hello everyone, Sheyla here, and today we have our mount farm and starting our rep grind for the Margram. So we're going to start off over in Ambershire. I wanted to take a look at the new zone and just familiarize myself, and we've got the keep over here. And it's really quite an impressive zone. It was beautiful, fantastic quests, some really good quest items too. But over here we end up, this is a proper quest, but we ended up finding an item that leads to an unlisted quest that's a scavenger hunt. So we end up doing a scavenger hunt in a second here. As far as everything it took to get this grind going, I'm not gonna lie to you, it did take several hours of consistent play. Again, I've been no-lifing it for a while here. It's sort of a double-edged sword, but I have not been employed for a while. Been trying to find work for a long time, but the longer you go without, the harder it becomes. So, we're just filling our days with Turtle WoW and working out and making videos. So, the fortunate thing is I'm time rich, but cash poor. But yeah, so here we are killing tigers. So what we're going for is we are trying to get their whiskers. Those are going to be the most highly sought after trash items that we can sell. We're just going to vendor them in order to afford our mount. And if you'll see, we start on 3 gold here, and that's just from questing and selling trash, and that's more or less how I've been generating gold for the entirety of my journey, is just selling trash and questing. So again, our bags are full over here. We got quite a few whiskers. We've got a bunch of leather, and that's why we picked up skinning, is to vendor all of the leather from the beasts we're killing. And I know what you're thinking. Why not stick it up on the auction house? You got the auction house behind you. Well, skinning is a very oversaturated at the start of a server. Everybody's going to be skinning to do this method, so you'll actually end up losing money posting the auctions. It'll drive the price of leather down. So you just vendor it for whatever the vendor will give it to you. So we're going to go over here and we're going to organize our bags. And then we're going to start to see how much gold we get just through filling up our bags one time. And you'll notice I'm out of arrows completely. I went until my bags were full. So off the bat, just selling those whiskers, just a few stacks of those whiskers, 13 gold, which is fantastic at level, I think I'm like level 34, level 35 or something like that. I don't know. And again, I'm telling my guildmates, like, hey, this is how I'm doing it. If you're trying to do this, this is how you need to do it. And if you are starting fresh on a server, it's easier when you have a level 60 who can fund your character. But if you're starting fresh, this is going to be, and you're not a paladin or a warlock, because I get handed a mount at level 40 because Blizzard love those classes because they're cool. I get it. But if you're not a paladin or a warlock, this is probably going to be your best bet as far as affording a mount around level 40 or so. If you're pretty intense about it, pretty diehard about it, you might be able to get it right at 40. Fishing will help you with that too. I remember I made a priest on Everlook, and I fished up oily blackmouths to afford not only my mount at level 41, but also a staff of Jordan. I think it was about 85 gold. So yeah, fishing is also a good way. But again, since the server is so fresh, we have a bunch of experienced players. I know that the price of fish is also going to be super low as well. So I'm just opting for the vendor strategy because I'm not trying to wait around and lose money on the auction house, because you do pay a deposit that you do not get back. So this guy in Stormwind asked me, hey, do you want to buy a helm? And I was like, I guess. I got 36G. I'm pretty rich for a level 30. Yeah, sure. He's like, hey, I'll give it to you for 40 silver, and then you vendor it for 30. You only pay 10 silver. I'm like, you know what? That's got attack power on it. Yeah, it's cloth, but these are good stats. Yeah, absolutely. I'll take the helm. And he just found me randomly while I was vendoring off my whiskers and my leather, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely, man. You know, I'll gladly support you. I got the silver just to spend. You know, it's not gonna hurt me too bad. Yeah, so I got a nice little upgrade because this dude, in his enterprising spirit, decided to, like, hey, this hunter could use this, so we're gonna give it to him. Thanks, man. So I head back over to Ambershire just to break it up a little bit. I wanted to pick up a really good cloak, and I wanted to sort of keep going on that scavenger hunt. I was curious to see what this scavenger hunt leads to, because it's not an official quest. It's a letter you pick up on a table, and it's not in your quest log. So I'm like, what does this lead to? Because I know that the Turtle WoW team, they go hard on their quests, especially in the new zones. So I'm intrigued. I'm like, what's gonna go here? So we find the pumpkin for the first part. It's over at the end, and we pick up the letter. And we're gonna read it here, and it's telling us we're gonna look for a house near the icy breezes. So I'm like, a house near the icy breezes. Where is that gonna be? So we're gonna. It requires you to explore the entire zone. So luckily, I did end up finding it. Here's the house. So we are going to. Oh, I'm talking to my guild. You know, you gotta talk to your people. You gotta help out your community. I'm getting a little annoying. People are asking questions, and I'm just answering. I don't mean to come off like a know-it-all, but I'm trying to be helpful, and I'm trying to share strategies that are successful to me, that got me to the position I'm in. But nobody asked, so I got to get better at that. You know, you don't want to be that person who's just like giving unsolicited advice constantly. It becomes annoying, and I realize that. So to my guildmates, I'm trying to get better at that. I will answer your questions if you ask me questions, but I'm also trying not to talk too much because I'm permanently online. So I'm sure people are getting annoyed just with my presence. So I found this cool little witch hut over here, and she trains alchemy, and she's got an alchemy quest. I didn't end up taking it just because I was focused on the scavenger hunt primarily, and it was a lower level quest, so I didn't really want to you know, stick around to do it. But I think I found the next part of it, but I think this is a red herring, because I have been hanging out over here, and I was here for a good half hour, just poking around, trying to like interact with different objects, and I'm certain that they put this here to throw off people on the scavenger hunt, because I was here for a half an hour looking and searching, and I'm asking my guild, like, hey, do you guys know where this is? And they're like, no, I'm not that far in that quest. I can't, you know, I haven't even gotten to the abandoned house yet. I'm like, huh. So I'm asking my guild, like, hey, do you guys know where if I'm in the right zone or what? And they don't know. So I'm gonna try to inspect this place over here. And I thought, and I realized at a later date, I thought that I had discovered all the different points, but it turns out that I hadn't. And I still, as of the time of recording, as of the time of doing this voiceover, I haven't finished this quest. So we're gonna have to finish this quest. You know, we have to figure out the mystery, because this noble has done something shady to wrong somebody, and I sort of want to see what they did. So we're gonna end up taking care of this mob over here. I'm gonna stick Archie on her. I'm gonna melee her. I'm just trying to save arrows, because I've been going through arrows like crazy. The less money I spend, the more money I have for my mount. And again, you want to be smart about what you're spending your money on. If you're buying greens off the auction house and you don't have a level 60 yet, that's probably a bad idea. You're gonna pick up items off of questing. You're gonna pick up items in dungeons. So it's really not necessary. If you want to, you can. I ended up getting a few items made, crafted for myself around level 40 or so when I was later, and we had a close call here. We almost died, but you know, pro gaming skills, we hit the water just right. And I haven't seen this yet. We found this little Defias camp over here, and apparently it's a new Dead Mines quest chain. Now, I did not take that chain on this playthrough, but hopefully we can find where this quest starts, and we can you know, we can see where it ends, because it's a level 30 boss. So clearly it's a long chain, and it's probably very rewarding. So we'll have to pick it up on another character. Excuse me. So I jumped off the cliff, and I'm like, maybe it's not at the house. Maybe it's like around the house. Maybe it's in the general area of the house. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna clear this area. Perhaps there's a letter in a bucket in this camp to the left of me. And so I'm making my way over here. We're gonna try it out. And I didn't realize that this boss actually sort of hits hard. So it was a tough fight. Archie ended up going down, unfortunately, and I don't like when Archie dies, you know, because I'm fond of my pet. But we did end up clearing the camp, but it was a struggle and a half. And I have this bad habit of keeping Cheetah on. I got better at it because I got my macros situated. But yeah, I end up getting dazed because I did not switch to Monkey quick enough, and I did get better at it. But we're going to go for the boss here. We're going to have Archie tank. I don't have Feign Death yet, so I sort of have to just get hit. And, of course, if you Feign Death, Ice Trap, you know, that would be a good way to just keep this rogue from hitting me. However, I'm trying to save money. I've got 51 gold. I'm not really trying to spend any gold on spells right now because spells are so expensive. I know you know that if you are playing on Ambershire right now, everybody is getting wiped out by training costs. But yeah, so I've got about 51 gold here, and I'm like, you know what? I've had enough of this scavenger hunt for now. Let's head over to Desolace. Now, the cool thing about Desolace is there are also mobs here which drop decent items you can sell for gold for vendor price, but they're not as good as the Whiskers in Stranglethorn Vale. The Whiskers are going to be your best bet. The Basilisk and the Scorpions, they are going to drop like basilisk eyes and like different parts that you can sell for a good amount. So over here, we're starting our Margram rep grind. So what you want to do is you don't want to do any of the quests at all. Do not do those quests. Save them for once you hit Honored. Because at Honored, these mobs are going to stop giving XP. So what you do is from neutral to Honored, you're just going to kill all these centaurs over here. You're going to kill the Gelkus. And you're just going to farm that all the way up to Honored. Then when you hit Honored, you're going to go back over to the Margram camp, and then you're going to start to take the quests. If you take these quests, you're going to have a bad time, and you're going to have to do the repeatables a lot. Just because at Honored, you're gonna no longer get rep off of those mobs. So save the quests for afterwards. So we started the rep grind. We're not going to finish it in this video. We did end up getting Honored in this video. That was the previous clip. But we'll finish the rep grind for the next video because there's a really, really cool bow, and there's some leatherworking recipes that are really good too. But I decided just to break it up. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, you have 9 gold now. What happened to your 50 gold? Well, it was actually 60, and I realized that shell coin may have a use after all. I bought a bunch of shell coin. I bought about 11 shell coin. I had 69 gold, and I just dumped it all into shell coin, and we're gonna wait about a day or so. And I ended up making 10 gold just off of compound interest, so it did end up working out. So there we hit level 43. I've got about 6 gold in my bags. We popped over to the Badlands just to quest a bit and just mob farm. And I wanted to help out one of my guildmates here. He's trying to level up his lock picking, so I sent him some boxes. Told him, hey, you keep what's inside. I'm all good. I don't need any more items. Got more than enough crap in my banks. And it's important to stay up and make sure you're buying your bank slots. I got all of them except for the 100 gold one. Right now I'm currently saving for my epic riding speed, the 100%. And part of me is thinking, like, do I want to sell Bright Dream Shards? But I also want to get the Nordrenar Stag because I think it'll look really cool on my character, being a Night Elf. So I'm going to probably just do both at the same time, start saving up Bright Dream Shards, and then find another way to make the gold, just so I can both get the Stag and the epic riding around the same time, and I think that'll be cool because nobody wants to have a cool mount that's going at 60% speed. You know, you want to prioritize the practical things first and then do the cool aesthetic stuff afterwards. But I had an hour-long struggle while farming, Bright Dream Shards. It's like, which do I want to do first? Do I want to get the money first, or we got some motorcycles outside? Do I want to get the money first, or do I want to get the mount first? I was like, you know what? You can do both if you're patient, and you can probably get them done at the same time. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that. But again, I got 104 gold in my bags. I have enough to get my mount, but I ended up getting pulled into an Uldaman. And we did have a newer tank and a newer healer who are coming over from retail. And I'm starting to get a little bit fatigued on retail players. Not because, like, some of them are jerks, but also just the lack of experience. I'm spoiled coming from Nordrenar. Everybody knows what to do. Everybody knows the deal. And we end up, like, dying to mistakes just because people aren't experienced, and that's not their fault. I'm doing my best to be patient. I was trying to quit nicotine as well. I ended up failing, but you know, we're gonna try again. You know, when you fail, you try again. So I was getting agitated and aggravated for the past 2 days or so. I was a little bit rude in a few runs, and I apologize for that. And I did apologize to the group members too. It's like, hey, I'm trying to quit my Zen pouches because, you know, I'm sucking on them way too long, and they make you able to grind for hours and hours and hours at a time. But now I've got a searing headache because I fell asleep with one in my mouth. So I've just had a permanent headache for the past 3 days, and I ended up going down to the weaker ones, and I'm gonna try to wean myself off of them. I would chain them, you know, just have a Zen in my mouth constantly until I run out. So now I put them up on top of my medicine cabinet, and so it's just sort of a reminder. It's like, hey, you put this up here for a reason. So we're struggling on the final boss, and now I told them, like, hey, this is gonna be really hard, and sure enough, yeah, we wiped. And again, this is gonna happen. You're not gonna have a flawless journey all the way to 60. There's gonna be arguments. There's gonna be drama. There's going to be people bickering over loot. So do your best to have the fortitude to withstand it all. Again, this is a harder game than retail WoW. So you're going to have some challenging moments. And not just when it comes to mechanics, but also when it comes to interpersonal stuff. You're going to have a difficult time dealing with the social aspect of the game too. But that is what makes an MMO so cool, is you're not just, you know, a person in a static world. There's other people with you. There's other people around you. You know, there's jerks, but there's also some really fantastic, awesome, cool people that you get to play with. So keep an open mind. And if you find yourself around jerks constantly, you're probably seeking out the wrong circles. So you want to be conscious of who you're playing with. You know, because you think you can tolerate it for a few months. I've been in some guilds where I'm like, I don't really like the guild culture here, but you know, we're clearing content really well, and I always end up leaving because I just can't tolerate you know, the environment anymore. I can't tolerate it. It just wears on your soul, and you want to have fun while you're playing this game. So it's worth it to choose your friends wisely, just like in real life. Just like in real life. So why am I running around with Cheetah? I have no clue. Here we go. There we go. We switch over to Monkey because I'm getting hit by somebody, and we're close. We can totally do this if we just focus. So we're gonna focus up. We're gonna try to get the boss down. We've had like two wipes before this. I only showed you one because nobody wants to see, you know, people wiping constantly. A wipe or two is fun, but 4 or 5 is not. And you know, we're pumping, we're focusing, and we get it. Oh, we got him. It was like a 2.5 hour run, but we did end up clearing it, which is happy. So I'm going to take the Platinum Disc quest. I am going to get over to Ironforge. I'm going to turn it in, and then we're going to go straight to Darnassus. So we got our riding. We're learning our mounts. I ended up getting 2 because I had some gold left over. So we have some options. So yeah, we ended up getting our Night Saber. I think we're what, level 30 or 43 or 44? I think 43. And yeah, 43 with a mount on a fresh server. No simple feat. As always, guys, if you like this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video where we finish our Gelkis, Margrum quest rep farm. I'm having a difficulty speaking right now. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Peace.